We are Suzi, Martin, and Julian, a family from Seattle spending Christmas week in Santa Barbara, California. From exploring downtown and all the nearby beaches to venturing into nearby towns, both big and small, come along with us as we explore this part of the Central California coast for the first time.
Hey, a little change of scenery, and I even got rid of all my clothes except the t-shirt.
Yeah, we made it to Santa Barbara, and it's already much warmer than where we came from, even though people that live here think that this is cold. For us, this is perfect temperature.
Look at this splendor. Wow, look at that. Right behind us, palms and mountains and beach and just everything you would like, you know. Julian has been super happy ever since he got on the train this morning. Then the plane, he was totally fine, slept, and it was really easy. And then he came to the hotel, he was so happy.
Yeah? Actually, I don't know if you've seen one of these before.
Don't think so.
It's a landline. He loves being in new places, so we definitely made a travel baby.
That's by design, by the way. We got him to travel since he was like 3 weeks old. We just made it to Santa Barbara downtown. It looks very nice.
I love how green it is. Just walking down downtown, like this row of trees next to us is like totally green, and the buildings tend to be kind of white, so it's just a nice contrast. It looks really, really pretty.
This is a good point. So Santa Barbara is actually much greener than we thought, because when we think this area, we think LA. LA is more brown and yellow, and it is more warm and it's more south, but just about 2 hours makes a big difference. Here also is Mediterranean architecture, which is very, very nice. It looks like we're coming up on a walking zone, though people are scooting and biking. Are you reminded of home from these palms?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, this is colder than Hawaii for sure, but I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt and I'm fine.
I also love that they've shut the traffic right here. They should never open it again. Do you like Santa Barbara? Yeah, dog was barking.
Actually, you're right. First meal in Santa Barbara is ramen. All right, I went for the black garlic ramen. The noodles were nice and thick and chewy, and definitely getting tons of garlic from that. So we're back in our hotel room. Yes. Oh, and you're stealing my hairband. That's your favorite thing to do.
So we have woken up for our first day in Santa Barbara. Looks amazing, much greener than we thought. The weather's much better than we thought. We're here in December.
It's actually our first full day. We were here for part of last night, but yes, we woke up to this really nice Saturday morning. It is now Saturday afternoon, almost 1 o'clock, but we're gonna walk the strip again and check it out in the daylight.
Many things are done well in downtown here, but one of the best is that they've closed it for traffic.
Now, this was a trend in a lot of places in the US during COVID, but this is now, pretty well after COVID, and they've kept the street closed, which has not been the case in a lot of other places that we've seen.
Much more pleasant this way with our kid when there are no cars buzzing or endangering you. We can go down this plaza.
Oh yeah, let's check this out. It looks like a little open air market.
You see here how the side street too is just a walking zone with nice rock underneath us and a market and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a movie theater here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done really well. It really reminds me of towns in Europe.
Yes, there's a choir here. It's a far stretch, but I'm getting Capri vibes.
Actually, it's not that far of a stretch. I was getting Tulum vibes.
Tulum.
Or not Tulum, Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, there's a bit of that too, because it's still based on the Mediterranean architecture. Nice, very nice
Very
here.
nice. It's basically a big shopping mall, but just really, really well done.
Tasteful instead of the
Yeah.
very cheap ones that exist out there.
It's about sunset on our second day in Santa Barbara, and we're here on the beach. We actually walked over to East Beach from the downtown shopping district, and it's really nice because it's basically pretty empty, probably because it's just the wrong season to be here on the beach, but it is very pleasant and nice, and the sunset is starting to happen.
Julian really loves it here, and now he's completely covered in sand. But he's having a blast, and it's much warmer than where we came from. Julian loves trains, so we took him to the train station at Santa Barbara, and he's staring right at the train, and he's so excited.
It's a big Amtrak train that's going from Santa Barbara to San Diego.
So day 3 in Santa Barbara begins. We are well rested and it's really pleasant. We watched the World Cup this morning, the final. Crazy game.
Exciting.
Ooh, someone's swimming.
Yeah, one person, one taker.
Oh,
we may
wow.
join them later, not right now.
Eventually.
But yes, it is a Sunday, and this time we went on the opposite direction from our hotel, the opposite direction from town, and so we found like this little harbor marina. There are some food businesses here, lots of boats, and actually a pretty long walkway, so we're heading out on that now.
And the sky is so blue and the sea is so blue and so calm. Even though this is the Pacific Ocean, there are islands that are breaking the waves way out there. So it's very calm outside of Santa Barbara. It's perfect. So we reached the other end of this walkway where you see just about the whole place with the middle pier there. You can walk out here and get a very cool beach experience way out into the water. You see now behind me the whole of Santa Barbara pretty much.
Oh, wow. Are you impressed by the beach? You play with sand a lot with your friend, with Sasha? Yeah. Ooh. Are you covering it? Yeah. Covering the plant.
A lot of people from Argentina just showed up on the beach in Santa Barbara where we were hanging out and started partying already with the big flag and some beers.
All right, we got another student joining us, man. Grab a mat, dude.
Out for sunset today. It was a slow day, but it's nice now.
Yeah, so I don't know the name of this beach park, but we are not too far from our hotel actually. We came along the other side of it, came up a hill, and it is super scenic. We actually came down this little slope here to put us right on the beach, and it is just gorgeous. There we go.
took a drive inland to a place called Ojai. It's like olive groves and orange groves and quiet farmland vibe, rural.
Super cute little town. It's actually quite lively. Our small towns are always kind of hit or miss, and most of them are kind of a miss, let's be real. But here in California, whenever you go to these small towns, like, they're really nicely done.
We may have found some extremely fresh oranges. This is how we roll with oranges in here.
Fresh off the vineyard tree. Fresh off the tree. See, we don't come from Orange Land. I forgot how they grew.
Now we're gonna let Julian play. There's also kombucha and all kinds of new agey hippie stuff around here that we're indulging in.
So we fit right in, right?
Right.
Not quite.
We're about to leave this town, Ojai. It was really pleasant. It's almost even livable despite being rural. And the food has been great.
We had some really great kombucha, some of the best that we maybe have ever had before. It was really nice and light and drinkable. It didn't taste like, super strong vinegar. And then we ended the day with a Wagyu burger.
It was Japanese style burgers with all kinds of flavors like curry and all that, and inside is Wagyu, so good.
Stopped for lunch at a place called Padaro Grill, which is like right on the beach, and they have some really nice outdoor seating. So we're here surrounded by a couple of birthdays. We've got some fried snapper in the form of a taco, as well as fish and chips.
Julian is eating onion rings and fries. We're enjoying the sunshine in the Botanical Garden. Such a pleasant walk, fresh air and all green.
So Juju is dying to get out and explore, but because it's a botanical garden, there's a bunch of different plants in here and fruits. Some of them most are not edible, and also some ponds, so it's a little hard for us to find a place for him to explore the garden.
We're looking, but meanwhile they've shut the main path and so we have to cross some rocks and see if it's even possible with a stroller. Looks like it is a bit of a hassle, but what we can do is take Julian out and then fold the stroller. It's like our first jungle crossing. Not quite. But it's a place we cannot normally go to. Well, the problem is he wants to jump out and play.
He's dying to play.
We did it.
We did it. He's so excited.
Point out how our parenting and our training has been paying off, and our 1.5-year-old is now going through the forest like it's nothing. He loves the challenge and hills and all kinds of crazy terrain. For the second time in Julian's life in only a 1.5 years, we're taking him to see the redwoods. So these are also redwood sequoias, but they're not nearly as big as the ones north of here. Remember the sequoias from last year? I don't think you do. Julian is taking his nap and we're kind of structuring our day around it, but right now we parked in some coastal environment and he's sleeping in the car. I'm gonna go peek at the ocean from here. I think it's not too far away. And here is the beach. Another big Pacific beach. It's bit of a walk from the parking, but it's really nice here. Saved just over an hour for Julian to play on the beach now before sunset.
We arrived at this cute little beach. It is already kind of chilly, so we all have our sweaters and jackets ready to go.
Donkey Beach, Burro.
Are you ready to play?
Let's go play, Julian. The beach is all yours
Go
now.
to Donkey Beach.
Oh, don't fall in there.
Oh boy. Well, we're just over halfway through our road trip, and so today, since we all woke up relatively early, we are heading out to San Luis Obispo. Are you ready to go on a little adventure? Little car adventure?
We're on a mission to get to San Luis Obispo, but we got sidetracked by very fancy drinks that would be wasted in a paper cup, so we're having cocktail coffee basically.
What was the one that you got?
It's called the Burnout. The Burnout is just how I feel after 15 years in tech, so vacation feels good.
Wow, that coffee was really good. I liked how it wasn't too sweet. Mine was like a maple syrup flavored, but it also had like fresh rosemary on it, so I really liked that. It was a step beyond just a regular coffee with milk.
We have an hour and a half, it looks like, and it actually is the last major location on the coast of California where we have not been. We're driving here to the mountains, and this trip is actually the first one Julian has been sitting forward in the car seat, and he's really mesmerized. It's amazing. Made it to downtown San Luis Obispo.
It's a super cute town, actually pretty big so far, and we're just kind of walking through and taking it in.
We're showing Julian the trains because he's really started liking them.
So we're here at the San Luis Obispo Railroad Museum, and it's actually closed today, but there's this big train out here that you can still walk by even if the museum is closed. Yeah? Yeah. Before we leave town, we're taking a quick drive through California Polytechnic University, and it looks like a really nice campus. It's perched up on the hills, and there's some really awesome views here.
Yeah, and the whole thing looks brand new, so it seems like this city kind of centers around the school. We're now exploring Morro Bay, and this actually is the last prominent place on the entire US West Coast that we had not seen.
There's a pretty big rock hill that defines this area.
Yeah, it is really hilly, and driving around is quite nice, but it's yet another amazing coastal community on the Pacific coast. very, very nice vacation homes and other stuff.
We walked down to the far end of the strip because there's supposed to be a really cool playground.
Makes me wish I was the one playing, but at least we're reliving our childhood now. Are you ready to play? Yes, you are. It's hard to continue.
What is it, Gigi? Hi, baby. Predictably, Julian was not at all interested in that playground. He wanted to explore all around it instead. And in a way, I can't blame him because it's really nice and green and lush, and there's also some nice sand. So he's walking around barefoot, in fact, and really having a blast. Until we got to Morro Bay today, the only reference that we knew about it was from that movie Finding Dory, the sequel to Finding Nemo.
Baltic, the jewel of Morro Bay, California. Yes!
So we haven't seen any Dories or Nemos, but we have seen some sea otters and also some pretty big pelicans, and now 2 really large herons are flying by, and I think we hear some sea lions or seals out in the distance as well. We actually realized that today is winter solstice, so the shortest day of the year. From now on, our days should start to be getting longer, which would be very nice because in Seattle the sun is setting at like 4:15 or something ridiculous like that. Being here in California, we're actually getting a little bit more daylight, which has actually been very nice.
I got the grilled snapper sandwich because they told me that's what they catch out here right now in the season, so I'm getting what's local and fresh.
And how is it?
It's good. I really like it.
Well, I couldn't help it. We had to spoil ourselves a little bit more and actually get the barbecue oysters. The oysters are actually from Washington. They're not from here, but that's okay. I don't see barbecue oysters on the menu too often, and I really, really like them, so I made an exception. And these are served with garlic butter. Oh wow, look at that. It's steaming. Those are perfect.
We just watched the sunset by the bay, and we got the video of the otter.
So you got really close up, huh? There's like a little dock on the water.
Yeah, I think I got the otter just completely full scale, the entire thing. How he's eating some seafood and trying to tear it up with his teeth and then smacking it on his belly.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was pretty cool. I think that's the closest we've ever been to an otter.
Yeah, by far.
In the wild.
Yeah, it's a sea otter, so cool in the wild, yeah. So I'm really happy. It's one of the biggest reasons I got this camera for this trip, to get those otters.
Well, that ends a really nice day on the Central Coast here in Morro Bay and San Luis Obispo. It's really nice here. I like that it's, you know, kind of a tourist town, but it doesn't feel too cheesy. It's like tastefully done, and it also feels big enough. Like it doesn't feel like it's too small. There's Julian drinking his milk. Yeah.
We managed to find the Santa Barbara Farmers Market.
So it happens in downtown every Saturday, but there's actually a location about 6 days a week, I think, just spread out throughout the area. But yes, it's a Saturday. We're checking out the downtown market. It's actually Christmas Eve, so I'm kind of surprised that they're open.
One thing that I am quite jealous of about not living in California is that they have all this tropical stuff, subtropical and fresh produce all year round that is actually pretty affordable compared to us. So far what I'm seeing is that Santa Barbara would be quite livable with how we like to cook and eat.
Where's this one from?
Here.
Oh, really?
Our son fishes them.
Ooh.
That's big. That's huge.
Thank you. Well, that's pretty awesome. You can get fresh lobster at the farmers market in Santa Barbara.
Fresh live lobster, but also halibut. And they say normally they do shrimp, which we love all of those things. So this would be great. They also said that they've been here at the market for over, 40 years?
Yeah.
So the market's been going on for a long time, and they also discount the food here. So if you buy it here, you get really good quality at a discount. So
The prices really were good, 15 a pound for halibut and 22 for lobster.
Yeah, caught here.
Amazing.
That's great. I wish
Amazing.
she lived here.
Yeah, right?
She tried to convince us.
Well, if we could get those houses for 400,000 like she did in 2008, man, I think back I didn't have that much money, but had I known this would happen, I would put it together.
Seriously.
Or even you could ask your parents or something, you know, like if now these same houses are millions.
She was saying what they bought their house for $18,000 back in the day, and they just got offered $3.5 million.
Yeah, see?
That's ridiculous.
Sucks to be a millennial, right?
It does.
You can sample anything on the table.
Oh, you can eat this by itself.
Fresh orange. From the source, so good. Well, we had to buy 2 big bags of fruits now, and we would buy a lot more here, but we don't have a kitchen. Oh, yes. So we've been in Santa Barbara for a week now. Most of the time's really been just going to playing with or watching Juju play, which is what he's doing right now. Right now at home there's historic Arctic blast or whatever they call it. Oh. You can't really turn back time and relive your childhood that way, but the next best thing really is to watch your child play. It does make me it really does make me feel like I'm a kid again just to watch him. The internal feeling is similar as the closest thing you get.
So we're giving Julian one of his greatest wishes, which is the ability to go swim in the ocean.
Me.
There's gonna be a lot. There we go. That's big, baby. One of the hardest things about parenting Julian so far is that when he wants something, like, he does not listen. He's like, oh my God, water. I need to be by the water. And he doesn't really understand the danger of it. So it's been a challenge to you. This is gonna make our own cold plunge rather easy because my lower half of my body's already kind of frozen. Along the lines of a cold plunge, I think both of us are gonna do it, Martin and I. Julian's already done it, but I'm about to go do it. I would take you guys with me, but I forgot to bring the waterproof handle or cover for the GoPro. So you're just gonna get a before and after of us doing our cold plunge. Well, this is the after. I warned you guys that we don't have the waterproof door with us, unfortunately, so we can't take you in to do the plunge. But yeah, I just did it. It's chilly, but I'm really glad that it's sunny because it really helps.
I'm gonna go in now with the GoPro and keep it out of water. So generally there are 2 philosophies when it comes to going into water. There's some people, the vast majority, who think it has to be like 85 degrees, summer completely hot. And then there are other people that try to train themselves to go in when it's colder. And we're trying to train ourselves so that we can do it where we live in the cold or out here in the Pacific. So let's see how I do, because the water is cold. Suzi just did it, so I can't chicken out, right? But she has been training herself harder than me, actually. Okay. So yeah, I dipped, but not so successfully. Maybe without a GoPro I'll get some more action now. Well, the wave came in, completely submerged me. So I was right to keep the GoPro out of the waves, and I got hit by the wave and completely submerged. It was cold, but it was quick, so it was fine. So we did it. We went all the way in the Pacific in December. Pretty big win. Amazing vacation here.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the end. We are checking out of the hotel, but we actually have a few hours. So we're gonna go grab coffee, let Juju get some energy out, and then head to the airport.
The beautiful thing is that the flight is only 2.5 hours. So altogether this vacation was such a success, because with a 1.5-year-old, easy flight, you get here, it was like 70 degrees every day. We did beach day, topless, going in the ocean and everything in December on Christmas Day. While the rest of the country was having the coldest Christmas ever. We totally beat it, like we aced it.
It was amazing. And even better is that today it's actually very cloudy here. It is supposed to rain for like a whole week, I think, starting today. So we're actually leaving at the right time.
GPS signal lost.
Oh well.
Oh well, yeah. So we made the most of the weather and we're going back to Seattle where it's now supposed to be about 50 degrees.
So masterfully planned, masterfully executed. We enjoyed it to the max. We're gonna make some videos and come back for sure a bunch of times.
Well, this is it. We're about to return the car and it is indeed raining. This is nothing for us when we live in Seattle, but you know, this really would have sucked if it had been raining like this during our trip. Let's be real. You ready? We're gonna go on an airplane again. Yeah, you see it? Airplane. Airplane.
That woke him up.
Yeah. All right, there's all of our stuff that we brought. Ford Escape. Not a bad option if you need a cheap all-wheel drive.
Your carry-on allowance is 1 carry-on bag and 1 personal item. Please place your personal item underneath the seat in front of you and store your carry-on bag in the overhead bin near your seat. If you check your bag at the gate, please...
Ooh. Wow! I'm so proud of you. You're learning new things. Oh.